And that leads us to our last conversation. We're going to switch it up and go to the women's. So obviously, the co-main event for this card is Weili Zhang defending her strawweight belt against Yan. And that's all I'm going to say because I'm not even going to pronounce that last name right. So we'll just leave it at that. But that's not actually what I'm here to talk about. Technically, I'm here to talk about Weili, but not just Weili. So, just going into kind of the history of the strawweight belt, and I promise it's gonna sound like what is he talking about, but I got a point. Um, since the strawweight division was created in 2014, we have now seen 8 champions. 5 of them are repeats. That includes Weili, Joanna. Obviously, Weili and Joanna was probably the best women's fight we've ever seen. The first time they fought. Jessica Jandre, obviously Rose that we just talked about with Trevor Whitman, and Carla Esparza, who Weili just won it from last year. So that is the vision. It's only been around for 10 years. Already changed belt 8 times. 5 of those are the same woman. So obviously there's top contenders. There's good women in that division who could fight, but that belt still seemed to keep changing hands. Flyweight division, the next division up, we got Valentina Shevchenko, won the belt in 2018 off of Joanna, and pretty much 7 title defenses for 5 years undefeated before she lost it to Alexa Grasso last year. Then we pretty much go to the bantamweight division. And if you know anything about the bantamweight division, you pretty much know Amanda Nunes. Obviously, Ronda Rousey won the belt first, lost it to Holmes. Holmes lost it to Tate. Tate lost it to Nunes. Nunes went on a rampage that pretty much damn near cemented herself as the MMA GOAT. And that's basically what I want to talk about. And that's kind of why I went through that history. Yeah. What Nunes was able to do in the bantamweight division, 5 years without a loss, 5 title defenses. 2018, during that time, they created the featherweight division. She stepped up, won the belt there, went 2 years undefeated there. Technically, it was 5, but she didn't fight in that weight class for 3 years. Right. So what she's been able to reel off pretty much during those like 7-8 years, the dominance that she had, like I said, she cemented herself as the MMA GOAT. Will we ever see a run like that? And the reason why I say that, because obviously we got Weili. If she wins, how much more do we need from her to, okay, maybe we can consider her that, or is it too late? And another reason why I also bring it up is probably the one person that everyone expects or can think that say, hey, I think this person can become that level is Kayla Harrison, who is from PFL. If you know who she is, we'll probably go into that a little bit more later after I, hear your opinion. But she pretty much is also having her UFC debut against Holly Holm this week as well. So basically, is there ever going to be another woman, or not ever, but just right now in the UFC right now, is someone else going to give us that kind of run, or is it too late for that? Because at this point, the competition is just getting so much better. Is that possible anymore?
That's a loaded question, my friend.
I know.
It's cool though, but like that's the stuff you got to ask and just ponder. It could have been Weili, but she lost to Rose. Rose outclassed her as much as she protested. I mean, it definitely could still be Weili. Not every champ that goes undefeated is the best, as you have depicted. You don't think Khabib is top 5, and that's perfectly fine. And because there's arguments for that all throughout, and there's good arguments for that. Not just nonsense. Not because you just hate the guy because he was boring, or because he was a grappler. No, it's because there's legit questions about the competition he faced and comparing it to other. But same time, different time frames. Nunes and Weili both were around at the same time. Obviously, Amanda fought killers in the UFC, killers at 135, went up to 145 and fought essentially the boogie woman of all women fighting in Chris Cyborg. And that right there cemented her legacy right then and there. And then she just added on to it. And then she added on to it again after she lost and said, like, I can bounce back and win. And she did.
Yeah.
She lost. It was a crazy underdog.
The biggest underdog we probably... Is it still the biggest we ever seen?
It's one of the. I know people go back and forth. It's between Matt Serra versus GSP and then
I
Amanda
think it might have
versus
been two. Yeah.
Amanda versus uh the Vixen.
Juliana Pena. That's because them odds changed real quickly in that first round.
Yeah, which I feel like should never be allowed, but whatever.
Yeah.
I wish I would have bet money.
Yeah.
But
Before. Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's tough. It's really really tough to think. But it could be Whaley. It could have been Valentina Shevchenko, but she getting lost. But hey, she could
right there.
She was right there, but she could come back. You know, she can come back. I mean, she's still relatively young, but she can come back and go on this massive, massive win streak. And you never know. It's just but the way that Amanda did it was pure dominance. It was pure dominance. Whether you agree or disagree, it's still dominance because guess what? She didn't lose until she lost to and people have argued, and you could definitely confirm it, in my opinion, because she won it back. It was a fluke victory because she gassed out. She went into the fight sick. She was recovering from COVID, and I get that might be an excuse, but
she overlooked her. Yeah.
And on the same time, it's like it's not an excuse. It's just merely an explanation. She still lost. Went on her record, but guess what? She wrote that wrong, and then she retired and wrote off to the sunset. Twice. She won, and she went on another win streak.
No, I was about to say she after Pena she gave it one more.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And then she retired.
Who I was rooting for, and then
she was a good option.
She was.
But it's funny that you say that too, because as you mentioned, the wins losses, not really killing legacies. Mm-hmm. Juliana Pena being Amanda Nunes did nothing to her legacy in my mind.
No, it didn't.
Like she didn't drop. Like, you know what I'm saying? It did nothing. So you're right, Whaley. Could give us a couple, and that's the thing. Like, do it have to be a few more years? Because with Valentina, she's a lot closer. To me, Valentina's a lot closer. She's probably the one that's right behind for me. Because before Alexis Grasso, the only one she lost to, pretty much was Nunes. Yeah. And I think if they were, I always wanted them to fight again.
Me too.
At Valentina's weight class.
Yeah.
But
that would have been hard.
Amanda was never going to make that weight. She was never ever going to make it. Yes.
No, she was never make that weight.
Yeah. Never. So that's why that was never going to happen. But I think that strength with a couple more pounds played a part.
Oh, absolutely.
How Valentina fight. Yeah. So
but she's also definitely close to beating her.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like I really think Valentina is the one that's right behind. And obviously we have to see what happens to her trying to come back. And I don't know if they actually scheduled anything with Alexa. They haven't.
No, it's just but they are the next coaches for the Tough House.
That's what it is.
What it is. So, but it's probably going to be another rematch.
Yeah. So I'm with that. I'll take that. But I'm actually thinking that is the flyweight, and
there's also Tatiana Suarez, who unfortunately had lost like 2 or 3 years of her career. I think it was 3 because of cancer. And she was on a crazy win streak. She beat Alexa Grasso. So
but she it looked like she's back strawweight.
She went down to strawweight again.
She's actually next in line for this Whaley.
Okay. Whaley I couldn't remember where she was posting because like she could do it.
Some girls really move up and down, which is good.
It is good. It's good. The one who definitely moved up and down was Andrade. Andrade fought at 135 and she's like 4'11". I don't know how. She
would say she found a way to and get herself in contender fights in all 3 divisions. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. And obviously she touched the belt. So you can't say nothing about that. Yeah. And then Rose was another one for me. She had the potential, but obviously pretty much when she had to fight a wrestler, it was over. Andrade kind of shut that, not Andrade, Esparza shut that down. And just for her to get beat the hell up by Whaley. So I don't know if and then that was a boring fight. So I don't know if they're gonna give her those headliners again. So for me, Valentina was right there. I think a couple good more years with Valentina. But you're right. Whaley is a 2-time champion. Obviously, she's not no scrub. And I think after a certain point, she could just move up. and start contending there if she really wants to.
Yeah, she could definitely do 125. And I'm sure Alexa used to fight, I think, at strawweight as well too before they opened up
I'm
125.
pretty sure all the top contenders at
Yeah,
flyweight fought at strawweight.
yeah, exactly. They just made that brutal cut. I mean, to some it might have not
Most of
been
them
that
had
brutal.
babies, got a little bit older. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like age plays a big factor. Cycles, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how they
Oh,
do it. I have
man.
more
I
props to
can't
the
lose weight easily no more, man.
yeah. So I don't props to
At
the ladies
30s.
who have to like cut weight, especially when they're on like their monthly cycle. I know they have to plan around that. Props to them. So like I want to see a super fight with the women's because we don't get those enough. Like
Yeah,
we got
now that
spoiled.
Amanda's out the way, it's
Yeah, like
free.
145 doesn't even exist anymore. I don't even think the belt exists
I
anymore.
know. So I'm literally, that's why I said Amanda defended it for 2 years, but the last 3 years, no one's fought.
It was just a prop.
Uh, Technically, and I don't even know how this happened because unless I missed this fight, but Raquel Pennington is the bantamweight champ.
Yeah, man, they fought for the vacant belt.
Oh, I was gonna say because when was this? I did not see this.
Okay, you could be forgiven, and I really hope you got MMA fans out here because they're gonna find this hilarious. You'd be forgiven because no one really cared about this fight, and everyone hated it. Everyone was like shitting on it. I personally didn't hate it that much, and also I have a soft spot for Raquel. I like Raquel.
I
Also,
like
her
him, yeah.
nickname's Rocky, so like you gotta root for someone named Rocky. Um, in my opinion, that's me. But like it was good. And Raquel has been with the UFC for a long time, so it was nice seeing a veteran of the
No,
UFC
so
get her.
I know the name,
Yeah.
but I was like in my head, I remember Amanda retiring.
Mm-hmm. Don't
That was
worry,
it.
you could be
Yeah,
forgiven
yeah,
because everyone
yeah.
did not care
I
about
was
this
like,
fight.
when did Raquel get the championship? But yeah, so obviously, as we talk about the bantamweight, wide open, don't really seem like there's much going on. But for some
Nah.
reason, somehow now we're getting Kayla Harrison from PFL, who was technically a flyweight in
No, no, no.
PFL. Was it a
She
flyweight?
she was a lightweight.
Was
She fought at 155, bro.
no.
She fought at 155.
There's nowhere near that close in UFC. She ain't getting that.
But she's fighting at 135, bro. I think
Yeah, so
the fight's at
it's a
135.
bantamweight. Yeah, it's a bantamweight.
I don't. She's made bantamweight
Or is it
maybe
catch?
once. I could be wrong.
Jesus,
I don't know how. When they signed her, I'm like, how the hell is she gonna make 135?
you're right. She was a featherweight.
She was a featherweight lightweight. She
Oh
fought at
my
lightweight. It was a
God,
PFL
4
exclusively.
years. Yeah,
PFL, it was just strictly lightweight. She had one fight at 145 with Invicta, which is
you're right.
if
Yep,
for people
yep.
who don't know, that Invicta is an all women's MMA promotion.
Yeah.
So
So I seen that in the just thrown in between PFL. So you actually might know more. Was she on contract dispute or what happened there?
not dispute, but like they were trying to resign her, and
Trying to
I
resign so she want to try something
yeah
else? Okay. Kind of
yeah
like, where did that one fight come from? Like, how did she
yeah,
go to?
bro.
I'm saying, like, how do you go to another audience? So, like, I'm like, yeah, she must have been in between contracts there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's another thing too. A lot of people PFL 16-1 record. A lot of people think she's now potential to be one of the best women fighters in the world. I feel like obviously no one would take her serious until she came to the UFC. Because at that
yeah.
point, want to see you fight the best competition. So, what do you kind of expect from her? Like, do you got high hopes? Do you think she could make a small mark, a big mark? Because at this point, I'm looking through that bantamweight division, and like, there's not much there.
She could easily run through these ladies, but
Oh yeah, she'll run through everything.
I need to see her make weight first, bro. Friday is gonna be very interesting, bro. If
Yeah,
you look at
that's
her list,
crazy.
she's
'Cause
never fought at
I didn't
135.
put two and
Never.
two together. Like I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, she fought for the featherweight division, but like I've been doing so many research for fights, it didn't even dawn on me. I just thought flyweight.
Hmm.
But like as soon as you said it, I'm like, wait, and I'm like, yo, no, she did fight featherweight. That's crazy.
No, bro, it
Yes,
was lightweight.
I knew
Lightweight.
she was so, and it's
Yeah,
funny because I knew she was
yeah,
gonna. Oh yeah, you're right, lightweight.
yeah.
So I knew she was gonna have trouble making weight. But I thought bantamweight was their solution to that. You're right. She is gonna have trouble making bantamweight. That's
Cause
crazy.
no one's ever seen her make 135 ever.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
look at her MMA record, it's
Yeah.
all been 155, 155, 145 fight, and that's it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm happy for her. Hopefully, they gave her a good contract and not the one they gave Patty when he first signed, which was the 12K minimum, 12K to show up, 12K to win. So yeah, it's like I hope she's getting that money. I hope I mean clearly she wouldn't have signed if it wasn't for that because the
Yeah.
PFL she became a millionaire.
Or you also got to remember and that's another thing why I wanted to bring up too. She's 33. How
I
long
know.
does she have left? She might want to make that one big last contract.
Yeah, that's true.
Be a little
And also like
active.
she's already and that's the other thing like she's made cuts to one because I think let's face it like I've seen the that fighter and she's big. She's strong. She's a strong. She's also not short. She's 5'8".
Oh, she's 5'8". Yeah.
Yeah. I mean she's taller than me. I'm only 5'6".
And
So
I'm 5'3", bro. She's definitely taller than me. She
yeah,
could pick
she's
me
jacked.
up and throw me around.
She's
and
jacked.
as strong as she is, judo's her background. So like,
yeah. So like
she'll throw you around like a
She can ragdoll a lot of these girls in 135, but it's a matter of can she make the weight? Can she truly make the weight and continue to make that weight? Because when you get older, cutting weight isn't easier. But some people do it. Like Franky Edgar, as he got older, was able to cut down to 135. Wasn't the best move because the competition just got harder.
No,
obviously.
And I think after Nunes had her baby, and I've seen a couple of interviews. Like obviously I kind of know, but like I feel like for women who have to go post pregnancies, it's so hard for them to cut back down to like 125, 115. Like what?
Well, with Nunes, at least with her, I don't think she carried her second kid. It was her wife who carried it. So she didn't have to go through that. But even then, it's still having a kid is a life-changing experience, and
not even that. You got the dad bod. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
even the people who don't carry the kid, we get in that belly.
You're not getting sleep. It happens to male fighters. Obviously, the male fighters don't have to carry the kid for 9 months, so
right.
They're spared from that. But the sleep and everything, like your training, all have to line up with your kid's schedule too. Now, you can't be an absentee parent, So
yeah, no, for sure.
Kayla, she chose to do MMA later in life after she was successful. I think she's had kids too, and she's been just a crazy MMA fighter. I was always trying to tune into her fights when I could. It was just
I've been waiting for her to come over for years.
But it's just crazy because like when she first debuted, and I'm like 155. What the hell? What are you eating, lady? And I saw her. I'm like, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Bro, her upper body is just so jacked, bro.
Like
it makes no sense. Yeah.
Hey, she's passed drug testing. She seems to be on that.
I promise you. You would definitely think she's on some sort of steroids.
No, 100%. Of course, absolutely. And that's what people thought for a Cyborg, which she did get popped once, but apparently she's been clean ever since. So, and Amanda also never, even though Amanda never had a crazy physique, but like she was powerful as hell.
That power, yeah, she was definitely powerful. Yeah. So yeah, no. So how long do you think we got for Harrison?
Well, I think the contracts are usually a 3-fight contract, maybe sometimes 5. So you spread those out. So it's probably like a 1 or 2 year deal she got. And then it
she did say she wanted to be active.
So it truly depends on her. It depends on her in the UFC. So and mainly her because she has to win. If she doesn't win, they can cut her, or they just let her contract expire and that's it.
Or are they gonna have opponents? Like I'll be honest, not trying to be funny, but if I'm Holly Holm, obviously she signed up first, but like if I'm someone like Miesha Tate, I'm not taking this fight.
I know, and Miesha just got back from the winnings.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for some of these women are not gonna want to take this fight because it's not gonna get them closer.
Honestly, I could see Miesha going after because Misha's a BJJ. She's a BJJ girl. And she choked out Holly Holm. Also, I kind of want to see Holly Holm and Miesha go scrap it again because they need to.
That's what I want to see for old time's sake.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Like I was happy when Miesha came back. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I'm looking. Irene Aldana's another one they got.
Yeah, she got some hands. She's slick with the boxing. But I don't. But she got outclassed by Nunes. That was her retirement fight against Irina.
Yep.
So I don't know. I like Rocky, but I don't think she will have the belt. I don't think she could beat Kayla. I don't think they'll thrust Kayla into the title fight right away. But Rocky versus
guarantee you. Kayla win, they force feed her Juliana.
Nah,
I think they do.
I think Juliana and Raquel are gonna scrap for that belt. I think they owe it to Juliana a bit because
I mean, she didn't get that title shot for no reason.
exactly,
And obviously she won, even though we all knew she was gonna lose again. But obviously she did herself. She got herself there.
Yeah, she tried to prove herself. It just didn't work out at how it was. She lost all her rounds, but she didn't get knocked out. She didn't get knocked out, and she didn't get submitted. So she has a dog in her. All right.
But let's be real. I think Amanda had every intention of dragging that woman
That's
for
true.
5 rounds.
And that's what she said after the fight. Is like, I wanted to show that I could do it.
Oh man, it was brutal to watch.
Yeah, like that's some goat shit right there. Like I said, like I
Brutal
know I
to
could have ended
watch,
it, and let's face it, you watched that fight, I watched that fight, we all watched that fight. She did not go after her. She could have easily knocked her out on the ground.
And she dropped her a couple times. Like, come on, get up, get
that's
up.
That's why like one judge scored it like 42 or 43, I think, at one point. So because some of them gave her, I think, a 10-8 round or even 10-7.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Some of them scored it really low for
22, got you.
So
yeah, that's funny.
I don't know.